Hi Shandelights, welcome back to our second installment in the series. Super happy to have you here. If you're just tuning in, go back and look at our first video. What we're going to talk about today in our second installment, DEI. Let's unpack current events. Trump's first day in office, he sent off a flurry of executive orders, but the one that we're going to highlight today is the memo excluding diversity from government, shutting down federal programs, and I believe by far the Republican Party wants to remove this teaching from schools so that the youth are unaware, uninformed, ignorant, and geared towards bias and hate. Clearly, this executive order on affirmative action revokes an order issued previously by President Lyndon B. Johnson and curtails DEI programs by federal contractors and grant recipients. On MLK Day, no less. And this came after accusing former President Joe Biden of forcing discrimination programs into virtually all aspects of the federal government through diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Okay, it must not be what it looks like. Well, he added in that same address that his administration would forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. To note, DEI is nothing new. And DEI initiatives stem back from the 1960s, which was what? The civil rights movements. Come with me. And more initiatives were just added and launched and expanded in 2022 following the George Floyd incident and increased calls for racial justice. I want to highlight DEI giants. These are the brands who have stood tall in the face of intimidation. So, Costco, big one for you. Thank you. Ben & Jerry's, I love your ice cream. Ben & Jerry's is always at the forefront of social justice. That is something I can really appreciate. That's why I'll pay for that expensive ice cream, right? Elf Beauty, thank you. Got plenty of her products. Just as I'm going to highlight our DEI giants, I'm going to call out our DEI cowards. So my eyes are on you, Target, Amazon, Walmart, Meta, right? McDonald's, Harley Davidson, Lowe's, Ford, Tractor Supply. I'm actually not surprised by Tractor Supply. For the audience and for me, like, remember these names when you're spending your DEI dollars, because I surely will. If you want to side with intimidation and hate, then you won't get my dollars. Simple. I'm not judging anything or anything that I will say. This is just my opinion, and as a young adult person who knows right from wrong and who has lived experiences as a Black person, I'm calling it out. I'm calling out bullshit when I see it, when I hear it. DEI and dog whistle. I see some posts or some that said didn't even earn it. And that really tickled me because that's hilarious and that's kind of clever. So, like, racist people are so funny because sometimes you're funny. Like, that was actually a little kick. That was a little funny. What does DEI stand for? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. What does DEI mean? DEI refers to providing equal opportunity to jobs or programs from people from historically underrepresented groups. Now, historically underrepresented groups, this right here is the qualifier, and this is very important because this means people outside of the standard of the American architect, which is a white man. I didn't make the rules. I'm just saying. There are people in historically underrepresented groups. Those are Black people and other minorities. Those are women by far. Those are people with disabilities and those from the LGBTQIA+ community. And historically underrepresented groups can also include our older and our aging people as well. Like, these are people who have been denied from job opportunities simply because of their identity. Period. Support for diversity means making space for humans of different backgrounds, cultures, and identities to feel comfortable in a place to contribute and to feel acceptance in their environments. And not because of the color of their skin or their identity, but because of their skills and what they can contribute. Up until these laws were really implemented, put in place, and called out for diversity by far, there were Black people, like if you had an ethnic name, trash, your resume was trash. What DEI says is, hey, we're not going to discriminate against anyone, and we're just going to take all of these qualifications, we're going to take all these resumes, each with their own individual qualifications and identities, and we're going to judge them based on their merits alone. And what do you know? If you base people off their merits alone, you naturally have an increase in diversity in programs, jobs, schools, and spaces. Wow. Who'd have thought? I'm a very data-driven person, and I know in business, the only thing that speaks to people are metrics, dollars, and quantities. So, according to Job Era, women in leadership increased 25% since 2006. Organizations with more gender inclusivity are 25% more probable to have above average profitability. And 90% of companies have at least one woman in leadership positions compared to 66% in 2017. So just from a high level, we know that DEI has helped or increased women's position in the workforce. But what we can't count, what we can't see the quantitative benefits is the overall human benefit and quality of life improvement that you see by being in places of the people who benefit, which are often poor and overlooked Americans. So if you're not in these spaces to see the benefit, you wouldn't know. I know the benefits that I can't find in numbers because I am Black. Going back to number 47, officials said that it was fitting that this order was delivered on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as it aims to return to the idea that one day Americans can be treated on the basis of their character and not on the color of their skin. This is amazing. Some things just fall together so beautifully that all you have to do is laugh, even if it's laughing in disbelief. So from this attack on diversity and DEI in the federal government, as of Tuesday, February 4th, now there is a target or a DEI website that is targeting federal employees or contractors who are in suspicion of being DEI. It is putting the names, the faces of majority Black people, and it isn't including the other people who benefited from diversity, other minorities, women. So sometimes your intention may not be something, but through your actions, an outcome will come that is totally opposite. So I can't say what the intentions of the president was when he decided to ban DEI, but I can tell you what is happening as a result of that. It is you saying that people who value diversity are skipping over the merits. Not true. Be alert. Think critically and question everything. So much is happening at once that it's easy to get overwhelmed, but question everything. Watch the type of media you're consuming. Double check, fact check me and my words. Do some independent research for yourself and tune in for more. So the rest of our series will be less political, but you know, I have a voice, I have words, and when I see things that are wrong, I'm gonna speak up for it. And whoever agrees, agrees. If you don't, okay. Thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you tune in for more. Leave a comment. Thank you. Smooches. See y'all in our next installment. Bye.